What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy live and direct and full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how we do. Live and direct with my boy out the 662. Y'all already know how he do. What's popping and what's dropping? Craig Smith.
This damn heat. That's what's popping and dropping. Here down here in Mississippi. And pretty soon Texas, because I'm pretty sure Texas will be getting them 103-degree temperatures and shit noon soon. But what's going on, y'all? This Craig Smith second here, born and raised 773. We relocated to 901. Put up with the bullshit in 25. Done putting up with the bullshit in 256, and I'm back in the 662. And y'all know how I do. We got a star-studded topic field program today. So Jimmy J's gonna give you the rundown on that, and then I got a few little things as well.
Oh yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. So yeah, man, we just talking about the legendary Bart Starr. That's gonna be one of our first topics. Well, first we're gonna talk about the NBA Finals. We're gonna talk about how Greg Popovich is talking to Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is learning from probably arguably the greatest coach of all time. You know, you could put him in that conversation. And I've discussed that before. I'm gonna have a response video to 78 Sports. No disrespect to my brother, but we got to come to an understanding about these Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm not going in on them because, you know, I already posted me and my boy Black Fight Fan TV out of my Dallas affiliate. He posted the me when I had the Milwaukee Bucks with the Jordan face. You know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna go in on the Milwaukee Bucks, but you know, just a response video. No disrespect, no shade at all. We're gonna talk about the legendary voice of the Auburn Tigers. Him and his wife had died in a crash, unfortunately. We're going to talk about Byron Allen. He does it again. He's making major moves. Yes, my brother Byron Allen has made some more moves. And the good thing about it is he's moving silently, which I do nothing but respect. We also going to be talking about Aladdin, number one at the box office. We also going to be talking about O.J. Simpson, something he should have just kept to his goddamn self. Because the thing is, we already knew this. You know what I'm talking about, Craig? But we're going to discuss it towards the latter end.
Well, we can talk about that now.
If you
we can talk about that now. Yeah, we can talk about that now. Fill me in on that. Because I already knew about what some, go ahead.
O.J. Simpson talked about how, and everybody already knew this shit. Let's just keep it 1,010. There wasn't a black person. And I'm saying black person loosely because white people, they kind of didn't care. I'm not saying they didn't know, but they kind of didn't care about it pretty much. But this was well documented. We knew about this for years. As black people, we knew about this for years. O.J. Simpson pretty much violated God code by mentioning that he banged Kris Jenner at the time, Kris Kardashian. We already knew this, OJ. You could have kept that shit.
We already knew that, bro.
We already knew that because guess what? Rob Kardashian was a swinger. The Kardashians as a whole were swingers. So this is
no shit.
This is nothing. I'm not committing defamation of character. This is pretty well documented. It's too well documented, so don't come on here. We know that. It's documented. It's too many red tape to it's too much shit to point to it. But yeah, they were swingers. And Rob Kardashian, of course, was a freaky ass dude. So, and O.J. Simpson was talking about hold on for a second. Probably get an echo. But O.J. Simpson was talking about how he was 10 inches and how Kris, loved his dick, and it was real big details on this shit. And then here's what I didn't know. Kris was actually in the process of Rob Kardashian, because Rob Kardashian was O.J. Simpson's lawyer before Rob Kardashian recommended Johnny Cochran as his defense lawyer,
right?
In which Rob Kardashian was a member of the defense team, right? But he was his lawyer for many years,
right?
And rumor is Chloe is possibly O.J. Simpson's. That's from what that's been a rumor for many years that it's possible.
Wait a minute, go back and say that rumor is what?
The rumor
'Cause you
was
get-
for many years. The
Mhm.
rumors was for many years that O.J. Simpson is Chloe's dad. We've been hearing about this for years. This
Man,
ain't
we've been hearing
nothing.
about that for years. And hold on, let me interject on that.
Go ahead.
When Chloe, which one of them asked for a DNA test, Chloe or OJ?
From my understanding, Chloe asked for the DNA test because OJ didn't give a
Okay.
fuck.
Okay. Bam, right there. You already knew anytime. And let me give a big shout out to all this entertainment media. Fuck y'all. At the end. Okay. But I mean, this is why I say fuck y'all to the entertainment media, like E and everybody else. Anytime if Khloe Kardashian just come out right and say something about O.J. Simpson might be her father, it shouldn't be no media coverage about this shit. Y'all getting paid, as I say, sometimes people get paid. Sometimes some people don't deserve to be paid to play the fool. But round when that was announced, y'all asses, I'm gonna tell like this. Y'all did a good job with everybody else in that shit, but you couldn't fool no real niggas like myself, Jim McWright. Big shout out to Corey Wolf, and along with others that we personally know, and some real nigga females that already knew right then and there. Yeah. Oh yeah. OJ. OJ was pumping Chris. Cause I'm gonna be on live and say it, because if you saw back in the pictures back in the day how Chris was looking back, 25 years ago, I would have hit that.
Oh yeah.
I would have hit that. And and by the way, Chris earns my respect because I watched the episode, and I'm going to be honest, I watched 2 episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She went in on Kanye, dog, about when North was born. She went in on that much. She went, man, she earned my props about that, talking about, okay, don't you think the baby need to be learn how to walk? No, give me this, and she went ham on Kanye. And Kanye tried to disrespect her, and she gave the cameraman like some little kind of signal, like leave the room, but keep this talking. She lit in his ass, and she said, "Look, I understand you lost your mother, but it's so many words." But and see, and correct me if I'm wrong, they're all Albanian, right?
Well, she's from Armenia, and
Armenian.
a lot of
Armenian. Okay, they're Armenian. I didn't mean to cut you out like that. Armenian. I apologize.
No problem.
Armenians are like us.
Yeah.
Armenians are us.
Yeah.
She had to put Kanye. She had to put Kanye in check about that shit. So I'm like, damn. And said when they came out of there, Kanye was looking stupid as a motherfucker.
Let me interject with the Armenian. Armenian, like, you got to understand that Mongolia is basically a black nation. Is basically a black nation because they're a mixture of Asian people mixed with Russian, and that has been prevalent for many years. The Mongolian Empire, a lot of those people were dark-skinned people, and at one point in time, they, when the Russians finally overpowered Mongolia, which is in the 1920s, they killed out a lot of the dark-skinned Mongolians because a lot of them were ruling over Russia for a long time, because there were rumors that Genghis Khan had African bloodline in him.
He did have some African blood in him. Just look at his skin. He did.
Yeah. That's just rumor, because I haven't seen a lot of paintings of him, but a lot of those people that ruled over Russia, if you go deep, the former Soviet Union, like Armenians in particular, they have that Mongolian bloodline. Same thing with Kazakhstanian people as well. The Kazakhstanian people you see now, those are like though they're very light, but those are not the real Kazakhstani people. Though a lot of those people, you know what I'm saying, those are the people that came afterwards, went after the invasion and shit like that. So I was just throwing a history lesson right there. But continue, brother.
Yep, but and also there's one country you don't normally hear, but you rarely hear about now. Mongolia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean, OJ was already telling. I mean, shit, because man, if anybody had a saw, now what was her name again?
Chloe.
No, the mama, Chris.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, we saying it here. If y'all saw the pictures of Chris back in the day, shit, hell, woo-wee.
And we talking about before plastic surgery and all that.
Before plastic surgery and all, before plastic surgery and all that. Yes.
She was bad, but that
she was bad.
Yeah.
But you know, OJ was telling. But you know, OJ, you know, Chloe did hint to that shit. And then what killed me with the media was, what is Chloe trying to say? And you mean to tell me, you know, she had an affair? You mean OJ messed around and OJ and Chris are messing around having an affair behind his best friend's back? Duh,
man. Them Kardashians.
Go ahead, Jim.
Including Rob and Chris, was fucking everybody. They was swinging with everybody. It wasn't no goddamn behind the back. It was rumored that Rob in a lot of those sex sessions, including confirmed by OJ, was watching them fuck. From what he. So what the fuck? It wasn't behind his back. They knew. They were like, hey, you fuck my wife, and even Rob Kardashian was fucking Nicole Brown Simpson.
We knew that. That open marriage, you know, that open marriage shit. Okay, let me say something. God rest his soul. You know, God rest his soul, the Ultimate Warrior. There's still a shoot interview that's on YouTube when this man spilled out Hulk Hogan's secrets. And he said something about, you know, Hulk Hogan's first wife, Linda. They and said something about they walking around had an open marriage and shit like that. And you know, talking about, you know, it was cool for his wife to fuck somebody else. And Warrior told him, man, take your ass on. No, you know, he said, he had a lot of respect for, you know, and you know, like a lot of people say Ultimate Warrior was crazy as fuck, but you know, the man did have some damn sense though. I mean, cause like he said, I ain't finna fuck somebody else's wife. You got me fucked up. He had some
type of class when it came to that though. But yeah, Linda Hogan was a swinger as well, or at least allegedly. Even though some of that shit is confirmed, you know, allegedly she was a swinger as well. And not only this, Nicole Brown Simpson was pretty much fucking everybody, because when she left OJ, she was pretty much fucking for money, basically, which leads me to believe that OJ didn't kill her, because it was just too many. It's just too many red tape for him to even kill this woman. First of all, OJ was basically fucking Playboy centerfolds. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Nicole was trying to get back with OJ because it was a letter that they deliberately left out in the trial saying that, hey, I know I fucked up, but and you know, we both fucked up and we was young, but hey, I want to get back to raise these kids. That was in the letter.
Right.
Shout out to Marky Johnson. I haven't seen you in a long time.
Man, what's up, Marcus?
If you see any weirdos in the chat, slap them hoes. If you see anything that remotely racist, you got the coon slapper. And yes, celebrities be on some weirdo shit. But again, what OJ was saying, we already knew. We knew you was fucking everything, as well as your wife was fucking everything, as well as Rob and Chris Kardashian was fucking everything. We already knew that. Everybody who paid close attention to OJ, even though we knew OJ was a coon. Yes, he is a coon. That's well known. I'm not black. I'm OJ. We still remember that shit. OJ, you could have kept that to your shit.
A lot of things he could have kept to himself, and see, he lost a lot of respect from the black community too. I mean, because they said, you know, I think with his first wife, because one of his daughters had died when she drowned in the pool. You know, and then during that time, that's when he started messing with Nicole, and his first wife knew about it. Oh, and his first wife was black. Ain't no wars is black.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And those
You
were the
know,
ones. Mm-hmm.
and they said that was the one, and from what they said, his mama was more pissed off about that shit. You know, because he left her for Nicole.
Yep.
Because that was the one that was good to him. You know.
Yeah.
But you know, they said Nicole was good to him also, but see, Nicole was a hoe. And then also, here's another thing why I don't like the fucking Goldmans bleeding this motherfucking man dry. You know, fuck the Goldmans, you know, because these motherfuckers, you know, the trial was dead and over. What I was pissed off about, Ron Goldman's dad was steady suing this man. Even OJ even put an order in baby saying, and his lawyers even said, look, leave him alone.
But the thing is, he can't get any of his money because his money is still tied to the Screen Actors Guild, which Screen Actors Guild money by law cannot be garnished. So is his NFL.
That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. But like that's when everybody said somebody called out Ronald Goldman's dad about this shit. Yeah, we know the money. We really know what kind of money you're at. The kind of money you want. You can't get that. Screen the SAG. The SAG protect their own. You got guys like OJ Simpson that's in there. Hell, the governor himself, Jesse the Body Ventura. Like I told you about the story about him when he told Vince, you know, when he said he couldn't start no union wrestling, said he got with Predator, he heard him got with the Screen Actors Guild. Screen Actors Guild took care of his ass. He said he got a full pension, 401k. He said he getting pension checks every month from their ass. He getting royalty checks from whatever show he in. If his movie still showing, he said it could be checks that range from like between $5 or whatever. They all going straight to the bank.
Exactly. And Screen Actor Guild pays out,
and it's a fucking union.
It pays out 4 times a year. It pays out 4 times a year, just like the music industry, just like ASCAP and BMI. And he could not touch that. They cannot garnish not only his Screen Actor Guild money, they can't garnish his NFL pension because that's protected. And the thing is, what was making these people mad, especially Nancy Grace, old racist ass.
Fuck Nancy Grace. And hold on. And since you said Nancy Grace, would you believe that fucking coon had the nerve to have her on his show?
Oh my god! Goodness gracious!
I so had Nancy Grace on my show. Fuck y'all. You ever notice every person he have on the show is his very close, dear, good friend of his. Nancy Grace ain't your friend, mother, big lip fucker.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. But speaking of Nancy Grace, she did some research and they found out that OJ Simpson was getting paid $5 million a month.
She should have kept that to herself.
And not just that, the money that he all $5 million of money, he still gets that to this day because his daughter owns real estate out in Florida, and so does we're talking about the youngest kids. The youngest kids owns real estate. I think some of the black children, the youngest of his black children, owns some type of real estate. I think he just had 2 daughters because one of them died. Because like I said, one of them died. Because he had 3 children by the first wife, from my understanding. It was 3 kids in that first marriage. In the second marriage, he had 2. So the youngest of the black children, you know, the real black kids, you know, the jet black kids, they own real estate as well. Because he told them when he went to jail, he said, take this money that y'all can get, because when you're in jail, that money doesn't stop. So the person that was over it was the black children, which is why his daughter was there to get him out of jail. His daughter was there, and then his white friend was there to get him out of jail. So she was over the estate, and she was like, hey, whatever you do, get your real estate license and buy a few property, but don't fuck this off. So she was overseeing everything. So OJ knew who to go to basically make sure that money ain't fucked off. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy when you have control over that money. It's easy to go crazy over that shit. But he gets a payoff of $5 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Which is why every time that nigga's out of jail, you see him with a young white gal. And he's that coon still hasn't learned his lesson. And I'm not policing anybody. I'm not dick policing or anything. But damn, dude, man, you done went to jail over a white woman. Basically a crime you didn't commit. I don't ever think he committed that crime because there's 20 reasons why I can tell you he didn't kill Nicole. And nothing I say can be debunked. Because one, a lot of his friends end up getting killed the same way Nicole and Ronald Goldman got killed. And
right.
What pissed me off about the Goldman, speaking of the whole ass, his Daddy Goldman, because I get those two fuckers mixed up, but he wasn't speaking to his son. He wasn't speaking to his son prior to him being killed. This is documented. You know what I'm saying?
He really wasn't.
He wasn't speaking because he found out his son was gay. You know what I'm saying? He found out his son was gay. And then what also leads me to believe that OJ didn't kill Ron Goldman. Ron Goldman had a martial arts background, and he would have left with a mark. And the only thing he left with was like a cut, which was from some glass. Because he wasn't even in town when the murders happened. You know what I'm saying?
And that was well documented.
Yeah, that was well documented. So if he had killed them folks, he would have left with some bruises, martial arts bruises, because even a white guy said up in Dallas was like, hey, even if OJ committed these crimes, he would have left with a couple of bruises in the process because there was a sign of a struggle. So it's too many reasons that exactly his dad is a gold digging better male. I agree, Ron.
Damn right. And Marcus said it best. What's his last name? Goldman.
So it's too many variables to say that OJ. It's too many variables. You know what I'm saying? It's too many variables. So OJ didn't kill this woman. He loved white folks too much. Goddamn it, he's too much of a goddamn coon to put his hands on a white person. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
But the thing is with the Kris Kardashian situation, Kris Kardashian / Kris Jenner, wherever the hell she want to call herself, nigga, we already knew this years ago. We already knew Robert Kardashian was a freaky motherfucker. We already knew OJ's a freaky motherfucker. We already knew your ex-wife and your side hoes were some freaky motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So he could have kept that shit to himself. We don't need to know. Nigga, OJ just wants goddamn attention. Like, nigga, go somewhere and hide, nigga. So one of these white
sit down. Enjoy your $5 million that's going to inflate to 30 million.
Exactly. So sit your ass, hide somewhere, nigga. Go back to Florida so nobody won't kill your coon ass, man. You don't need no goddamn attention. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, nigga, and sit down for somebody to end up killing your ass. So, do you got anything else you want to say about this bullshit before I go to the next topic, bro?
No, but I got a topic of my own. I don't know if you heard about this.
Take over.
TMZ Sports had a video out. Master P and Romeo offering Zion Williamson not only a movie role, but a $20 million shoe deal. And it says this. It said Zion Williamson hasn't set foot on the NBA court yet, and he already has a shoe and movie deal off courtesy of Master P and Romeo. But only if Zion actually comes to New Orleans. Said TMZ reported that they got the father-son duo out in Los Angeles, and they told us they have a role all carved out for Zion in the sequel, which was 20 years too late, in their comedy flick, I Got the Hook Up 2, which comes out in July. I have a beautiful idea. We need to get Zion and I Got the Hook Up 3. The movie will feature Jeezy, Michael Blackson, AJ Johnson, DC, Young Fly, and Jennifer Lee, and a host of others. And P and Romeo want Zion. But that wasn't all. P had another offer for Williamson for his shoe company, Mon Yachty. And this is what Master P said, quote, I know Zion gonna get a big shoe deal from Nike or Adidas or whatever. We gonna get him a deal just to have to wear our shoes outside of basketball. Question is, how much is P willing to pay? And he said this, just to wear it on the side, not in the game, I'm saying 20 million. You heard it, $20 million shoe deal plus a movie role. All if Zion ends up with the Pelicans. That gumbo starting to smell good yet? So what do you think about that, Jimmy J?
P is a real dude, man. I respect Master P for using his money to empower his people, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing but respect Master P, man. And a lot of people don't know that Master P is holding a lot of paper. And not only that, when No Limit was in his prime, he was trying to lace people with the game in terms of stacking their money, getting into real estate, all types of shit. So when you was with No Limit Records, even though he did some shade, you know what I'm saying, but he did try to make sure everybody was straight outside of the record contracts he signed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with Master P is holding a lot of paper and is slowly growing because he's been out of the limelight for the most part. He owns a lot of real estate. He owns a lot of restaurants. He owns all types of shit. He's still getting that No Limit residuals and stuff like that.
Right.
In spite of damn near every song he has, he's covered damn near all the hit songs he had was somewhat of a cover of somebody else's shit. But he was able to get 50% of the profits off that shit. So I think him making that move for Zion Williamson to look out for another black man, I can't do nothing but respect that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we need more black celebrities doing that for other black celebrities. You know, with Zion is already a celebrity. He might not have gotten paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But, you know, ultimately he will. And we need somebody that's mentoring guys, looking out for them. You know what I'm saying? So Marcus Johnson was talking about, I grew up listening to No Limit Records. Master P gave opportunities to put out his artists CDs every week, and which was unheard of. Yeah, most definitely Marcus Johnson, most definitely. And not only that, Master P comes to Memphis every year at Ridgeway High School and has a basketball camp every year, teaching kids how to make money and all types of shit. So anything Master P do, I don't do nothing but respect. Yes, he done some shade in his day, but
hold on. I'm glad you mentioned that. Hold on. Yeah, he's done a lot of good, but I'm gonna tell you one thing that he really don't need to do. And Ricky Williams learned his lesson from that shit. Master P don't need to try to get together a sports agency. He really don't. Because the way Ricky Williams got fucked up, the way Ricky Williams documented said how he had got fucked over by P that year, he got drafted by the Saints. He was gonna get paid based off his performance, regardless of what his contract was gonna be. Now that was some fuck shit right there. So that's why I was saying, you know, and like a lot of people, like one dude, he responded. Oh, and by the way, we did have some breaking news. I'm gonna tell you about that in a minute. A sports death. But you know, one guy in the What You Call group, he said, yeah, that's true. He said, but you live and you learn. Yeah. And that's one thing P did do some shade in his time, but that sports agency thing, now I'm going to admit now, when he opened up that sports agency shit, I felt he was being a little bit too extra now. But now, you know, he was being a little bit too extra. He was being full of himself. He was smelling himself a little bit too much. Okay. But now, man, I mean, you just gonna have to. But now, I mean, if I was on, you know, he can say yes, he can say no. But however, when you look at it, if you finna get paid by Nike plus some, hey, I go with it too. But I don't know. But I don't know if Zion can do that. If he can sign 2 shoe contracts now, but
he can as long as it's not. From what I understand about the Nike contract, from my understanding, and I say that for documentation purposes, if it's not a competing shoe company, it's okay for him to sign that contract. So if he's saying outside of the NBA, I'm gonna pay you outside of the NBA for you to wear it outside of the NBA. So that's a different thing because let's say Stacey Adams, promote him to wear their shoes. So that's a non-competing things. He can't go fuck around and sign with Under Armour because that's a obviously competitor.
Yeah, yeah.
Obvious
Hey,
competitor.
you know something, Jimmy? You just inspired out a good idea for all these NBA people. Promote Stacey Adams. Shit, I wear Stacey Adams every now and then. They shoes. Shit.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know they make the most suits out of anybody in the world. They're the largest suit maker in the world. A lot of people, like their shoes, but they make more suits than they do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I got a couple of Stacey Adams suits as well. So, they suits is like is not as it's like 100, 200. At the most, you probably pay for a Stacey Adams suit is probably like $400 or $500. But they have some badass suits and some clean ones like that.
Now I wear their shoes. I get most of their dress shoes from Burlington, but I will consider getting a suit from them.
Yeah. They're a very large suit maker and stuff like that. So I say Zion, if as long as it's non-competitive, I say go rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, shout out to Master P for astounding on that opportunity, man. Jumping on that opportunity to, help him, not only grow his business, but to help help another black man make his money, man. So respect to that. What is the breaking news of another sports death, sir?
Boston Red Sox legend Bill Buckner had passed away this morning, man. I saw that. He was 69 years old and he was battling the high state after a long battle with dementia. So yes, rest in peace to him, because they said he was famously known for the 86 World Series blunder against the Mets. But they said that man he was battling dementia pretty bad, man. He had the advanced stages of that shit. So 69 years old, rest in peace to him, and condolences to the Buckner family. I was trying to keep it on the link on TMZ, but then you had these little popcorn called pop-ups pop in and shit. So I had to cut it off. But yeah, that was a little breaking news. But you got anything else you want to add on that, man?
Actually no, because I don't do nothing but respect that particular thing. I don't do nothing but respect him for that as well. So it is what it is. NBA Finals talk. Of course, the Golden State Warriors is the overwhelming favorite in spite of actually having to travel for the first time. For the first time in their entire they had to travel in 1975 when they won the NBA Finals. I don't know much about them winning those two championships as a member of the Philadelphia Warriors. So if they win this title, this would be their 7th title and their 5th title in the Bay Area, which they'll become the San Francisco Warriors next year. I wish they would just keep the name, but, that's their business anyway. But they're the overwhelming favorite, in spite of having to go on the road for the first time in ages. But the thing that interests me is Steve Kerr is working on becoming a better and better coach, and he's talking to arguably the greatest coach of all time. You could argue that, even though he has fewer championships than Red Auerbach and Pat Riley and those guys and Phil Jackson in particular, you could argue that he's greater than both of them because, you know what I'm saying, he is San Antonio Spurs in terms of coaching. He did lift them from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Going from having to draft Tim Duncan as the number 1 draft pick to, having a lackluster years in the playoffs to getting to where he's currently at. So Steve Kerr has been spotted in the Bay Area with Steve Kerr talking about how to stop Kawhi Leonard. Or we know for a fact that they've been spotted in a restaurant together. Shout out to Town Biz. Shout out to
they've been I may cut you out. Well, you forgot in Steve Kerr's final year, he did win a championship under Greg Popovich, and he was learning some things from him.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But I'm gonna say the one thing Steve Kerr don't need to be again, and that's the general manager, because he still doesn't get a pass from me for hiring fucking Terry Porter to coach the damn Phoenix Suns. That was bad. And when you gonna get rid of Mike D'Antoni, like when them fools was winning, and you gonna find Mike D'Antoni to get somebody like Terry Porter in, that was stupid.
Yeah.
And then he had to turn around. And then from what I was reading, Kurt didn't get into detail about it. He said Greg Popovich. He said, man, Greg Popovich. He said he said he was asleep one night and said he had got a phone call 3 a.m. from Greg Popovich about that shit. See, he said let's just say he ripped me a new one plus some about that. You know, you're gonna fire Mike D'Antoni and replace him with Terry Porter. The Terry Porter experiment didn't work out. Then when you hire Alvin Gentry on as the head coach, Alvin Gentry get their ass to the playoffs. He get them from being out of the playoffs to being a third seed.
And got them in the conference finals. Alvin Gentry
and got their ass in the conference finals.
Yeah, using D'Antoni's offensive system along with his defensive system. So yeah, he had to get him out that situation.
Yep. So, but yeah, go ahead with the subject.
Yeah. So basically, according to CJ Goodfellow, as well as Town Business and my boy Cali Enigma, he's been spotted, because they're Bay Area cats. He's been spotted in the Bay Area with Greg Popovich talking about, or at least allegedly supposed to be talking about how to stop Kawhi Leonard. And for the record, Kawhi Leonard was born the same day I was as well. So his birthday is the same day. You know what I'm saying? But
Cancer.
Yeah, we both Cancer. So, it's coming soon, man, in 32 days. You know what I'm saying? For the record. But what do you think about Steve Kerr trying to learn from arguably the greatest coach of all time, you know what I'm saying, on how to stop his former player? What is your thoughts on that?
He should learn more often. None person against Steve Kerr. He should learn more often.
Yeah.
I'm not being mean. I'm not being, he should learn more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, and not only that, it's as far as Steve Kerr, I think he's slowly but for surely becoming a better coach.
Yeah.
He's had help with the players. Of course, it was delivered to him on a silver platter because he won these championships with Mark Jackson, but that doesn't take away the significance of his duties as a head coach.
Right. And it was also revealed that it was Alvin Gentry when they won the title in his first year. It was under the advice of Alvin Gentry that he put Iguodala in the starting lineup. And then they said, if you really want to take advantage of the inside, and he told the man to put David Lee in. He said, but don't tell nobody. And it worked.
And so he gets my respect for at least trying to learn the game, because what a lot of coaches will do, they will mess up a good situation by simply just having an ego, thinking they did this all by themselves, which they, he got some of the top assistants out there. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. And speaking of ego, I need to cut you off again. I really think Jim Beeline should have got somebody. I still think Jim Beeline should have never got JB Bickerstaff as his associate head coach. Think about it now. Because if Beeline don't do a good job with Cleveland, who's gonna step up as the head coach?
Yeah, because the way he runs his motion offense, he's gonna need. I say if I'm Cleveland, and I usually don't do this, but I say he needs every bit of 4 years to get that team.
Hell yeah!
Because the way that offense is, and then I wouldn't even suggest he try to run it in a small ball fashion like he did in college, because that works in college. That don't work in the NBA. So to make that motion offense effective, he's gonna need need 4 years. If he can't do shit in 4 years, I say give him the 8-6 because he's gonna need that time to turn that shit around, bro. Because
Yeah,
it's an up tempo style.
I kind of like Ty Lue's offensive system, man. The spread pick and roll, and then his version of the motion offense that helped Cleveland out a lot. But if you're gonna have spread pick and rolls and that type of motion offense, Lue running, you gotta have some damn good 3-point shooters. And really, I think the bet, and call me crazy, really right now the best 3-point shooter on that team is Kevin Love, despite him being a power forward.
Yeah, well, Kevin Love has always been a good 3-point shooter, even when he was at Minnesota, even when he was at UCLA. He's always been that stretch big style, which why I never got why they put him at the center position. Anyway, he should have stayed at the power forward position so he could be more effective. What they were trying to do, the mistake that Tyronn Lue did is make him the main, pretty much made him a center. You know what I'm saying? That offense.
And that was stupid. Then I was like, okay. I said, as much as we don't like Trick Bitch Thompson, he should have kept that man in as center, and just had LeBron and Kevin Love as your two starting forwards.
Yep. Yeah, they should have, or they could have kept Trick Bitch Thompson coming off the bench, man. I mean, because that's where he flourished. It was really coming off the bench. So he made a few mistakes, but I say Tyronn Lue offense wasn't bad at all. I think when LeBron left, I would have left out too, goddamn, because he was on the chopping block from the jump anyway. As soon as LeBron left, so but like I say, Beeline is gonna need every bit of that. Is gonna need every bit of that that time to build that team. But going back to the NBA Finals, how you think the NBA Finals gonna play out? How you think who you think gonna win and how many games they gonna win?
In a perfect world, everybody know Golden State will win in 6. Okay. However, depending on them, they were talking about Undisputed today, and you can find that clip on YouTube. I think Skip Bayless said with Kawhi leading Toronto to the finals was more of a slap in the face to the Spurs. If Kawhi leads them to a championship, that's going to be the ultimate fuck you to San Antonio. But I don't know if you agree with me on that, but I got Golden State in 6.
I got Golden
State.
Because
okay, because like you said, Toronto gonna have to come with it.
Yeah, I agree. Toronto is really gonna have to. They really gonna have to come with it, bro. And I don't know if Marc Gasol gonna be consistent enough to help them win.
Hey, bro, everybody said the same thing. Everybody said that shit. Even on here's a guy we don't never normally talk about, Jason Whitlock. Whitlock said the same thing.
Yeah, man.
He said, I want the Marc Gasol from the Memphis Grizzlies, the real Marc Gasol that was playing his butt off. He said, no, I don't want the one that basically had got one of the best coaches fired in the NBA because your coach asked you just do something simple and you bitch about it.
Yeah, and this is why I think Dwayne Casey would come in would help them out tremendously, because I think Dwayne Casey would get on his ass more than anybody.
Hey, Blake Griffin was saying that Dwayne got on him plenty of times, bro.
Yeah,
so he said, and he deserved it. Blake said, yeah, he said I deserved it.
Yeah, because he
said he didn't attack me personally. He said one thing about Dwayne, unlike some other coaches I know, when Dwayne attack you, he's gonna attack your basketball. He's not gonna attack you personally.
Exactly. So I think that's where the downside comes in, because like Vassiliounas thrived under Dwayne Casey's system, and then when he went into the motion a year ago prior to him getting fired, Vasiluna was was stepping up, shooting threes and shit like that. So
and yeah, he was better. I mean, and he got a good shot too, man. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like, and this is not to take away from the current head coach's job. You know what I'm saying? But to be real, that he came into a good situation. Only thing and they're a much slower paced team than they were last year, because last year they was up and down. But this year they're, they go in fast paced mode, but they don't go in fast paced like they did last year.
So right, because they got Kawhi, and then they're playing up to Kawhi's strengths, which I respect that.
Exactly. Yeah, and this version of the motion offense has made Kawhi thrive more than Greg Popovich motion, whereas that version of the motion offense was pretty much the big threes motion offense.
Yep.
But again, I'm not saying Toronto don't have a chance, but in order for them O's to have a chance, Marc Gasol got to play better, or Kawhi Leonard got to set an NBA record in points per game, damn near, or one step from it, not too far from it. Because if he come with that bullshit, they're gonna lose easily. And Golden State is gonna take advantage of every opportunity. Is gonna take advantage of all your misses. They're gonna take advantage of all your miscues. That's one thing about Golden State. Golden State don't just take advantage of your turnovers. This version of the Golden State Warriors is taking advantage of your missed opportunities and getting the transition. So and
also Kyle Lowry, who I guess he has been hearing a lot of people's criticism. He been coming with it as of late. But I'm gonna say this about Kyle Lowry. You can't fool nobody. Now he stepped up in the Milwaukee series like a motherfucker, because I think everybody was clowning him in that first round game against the Who they played in the first round?
They played I think it's New Jersey. Oh no, Magic.
Brooklyn. Oh, the Orlando Magic. Okay. Yeah, the Orlando Magic. And everybody was clowning that man after he didn't show up in their first two games. When he didn't show up, everybody was clowning that man. Oh, yeah. And it was rightfully deserved.
Oh yeah.
When you get tired, and when he got kind of tired of the criticism, then it gets with Philadelphia. He was hot and cold. All the fans lit into him then, man. All the fans lit into him. So when he stepped it up, if it take a lot of hard criticism on Kyle Lowry for that man to finally step up, and if Kyle Lowry can ball out in this series, maybe Toronto will have a chance. But if we see the first round Kyle Lowry in this finals, nah.
Here's what is going to have to happen. They're going to have to continue their great three-point shooting that they've had throughout the playoffs. They're probably the second best three-point shooting, maybe third. About the third. I'll give them about the third, because they've averaged like 14 threes a game. Don't stop that three-point shooting. But just know when you miss that motherfucker, you better get some offensive rebounds on top of the three-point shooting you have, because when they see those long rebounds, Golden State's going to take advantage and run you in the ground. That's first and foremost. Get Golden State in foul trouble. You're not going to beat Golden State without getting them in foul trouble. Get them if you can get Steph Curry, John B. Thompson in foul trouble, and Kevin Fu Manchu Durant, because he's gonna come back. He's not gonna sit out. He'll
never brush his hair.
Yeah, he looking like the African Fu Manchu Durant in goddamn Doug West looking ass Draymond Green. Man, get Draymond Green back kicking folks in the nuts so we can get him out of one of these games, man. So he can get a tick, so he can complain to the referees. You need all those guys averaging 4 fouls a game in order, you're going to have to get Golden State in serious foul trouble for you to stop them light-skinned Negroes from shooting threes. The key to beating Golden State is have a good inside game, 3, have a good shooting game, you know what I'm saying, and 2, get them boys in serious foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get those boys in serious foul trouble. And also the fourth one is you're going to have whatever you guys was doing in terms of double figures, who's double figures average, you're going to need points off the bench and you're going to need points from all 5 of your starters. Get some production out of all 5 of your starters. Everybody in that starting lineup need to be averaging double figures. You know what I'm saying? So like Cal Foolery, that's what I'm going to call this boy. Cal Foolery needs to be balling. He need to be balling like he never balled before. You don't need to nut up.
Yeah,
like
I just said that.
You don't need to nut up like James Harden. Yeah, I know you said it, but I'm saying this myself. You need to ball out like you've been doing throughout the playoffs. You don't need to be inconsistent because this ain't no time to be inconsistent. Because Golden State is gonna take advantage of every opportunity you give them. You know what I'm saying? All those dudes, you're gonna have to get those guys in serious foul trouble because that way they can't play aggressive defense like they've been doing throughout the playoffs. Because if those guys sit at 2 fouls, 3 fouls, that's not gonna work. You're gonna have to. I say the foul number you want to get to with Golden State, I'll say 25 and 28 fouls a game. If you can get those guys in serious foul trouble, because that's being in serious foul trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, because like that means your starting lineup as a whole is averaging like 5 fouls a game. You know what I'm saying? Which you're gonna go to the free throw line easily. So you're gonna have to take advantage of their opportunities just like they're gonna do, because best to believe if you miss, they finna push that hole up the floor. If you turn the ball over, they're gonna push that hole up the floor. So in order for Toronto to win, they're gonna need foul troubles, take advantage of opportunities, and everybody need to score. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in that starting lineup need to score, whether it's garbage points, 3-point shots. It don't matter. You need to score because otherwise they're going to lose easily. It ain't going to be no competition in this series. So that's the only way I can see Toronto winning. Golden State just need to do what they do. I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Play some damn defense.
Their defense is pretty solid. I mean, you know, you don't really have to worry about them playing defense. You know what I'm saying? Just stay out of foul trouble. If they can stay out of foul trouble, that works tremendously. Pretty much keep doing what you're doing in terms of offense, and you know what I'm saying. Like I say, Draymond Green, don't act like a little hoe with your Doug West looking ass. You know, with your box head ass. You know what I'm saying. Just stop doing stupid shit. You know, ain't nothing wrong
with his Beetlejuice from Howard Stern looking ass.
Yeah, so pretty much. What Draymond Green need to do, he need to play his game. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't try to be the superstar. Just play Draymond Green basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is when it comes to Golden State.
What it is.
So do you got anything else you want to say before I get to the next topic?
Nah.
Okay. The next topic, man, is my response to my boy 78 Sports, man. I love you to death, man. I love you to death. But I got to get on you about a couple of things about your Milwaukee Bucks, aka the Mill Salty Bucks right now, because they sitting at home and them bitches shouldn't be sitting at home right now. Now, respectfully, man, yo Mill Salty Bucks, aka the Milwaukee Bucks, Mill Salty sucks. Cause you know, and
Salty sucks.
Yeah, because I get on everybody's team, including my team. You know, if my Grizzlies have a bad time, they get in the Jordan meme. Same thing with the Houston Rockets. They finna get the L, you know, like that meme. Everybody gonna get it. But here's the thing.
They
with
need
the
to get a Kardashian meme.
Here's the thing with the Milwaukee Bucks. And it's a few things. It's a couple of things I disagree with you on. You know, what got y'all there, of course, y'all number 2 in the league in 3-point shooting. However, it's a time and place to shoot threes, and it's a time and place to make adjustments. The Milwaukee Bucks need to go sometimes into a hollow offense. You know what I'm saying? Because you got 2 centers that has career averages of 19, you know, with Giannis' current points per game averages like at 24, 25. When you got 2 big men that can ball out, it makes no sense to continue to shoot threes. it doesn't make no sense to continue to shoot threes because he was like, man, shoot that motherfucker. Just shoot the motherfucker, man. I get it. But if they're not going to if they're hesitant about taking that 3-point shot, get the ball inside. Play a little high-low action. The purpose of the 5-out offense, or the Bobby Knight version of the 5-out offense, is which really is a motion offense. Bobby Knight's version of the 5-out offense to get the ball in everybody's hand. When the motion goes in a circle, everybody should get the ball at the perimeter. And the reason for that is to A, slow down the game, or B, speed up the game if you got some niggas in the game. You know what I'm saying? Some fast up and down niggas in the game. With that offense, you had niggas standing there out in the perimeter. No, nigga. What you need to do is you need to move in that offense. Move around. Make a little screen, make that little screen and cut so people can shoot the ball or get some little inside action in the game. When you shoot that many threes, and I've stated this with the Houston Rockets, and I'm going to state this with the Milwaukee Bucks. When your threes are not falling, the best thing to do is to get some type of points any ways necessary. You cannot continue to shoot threes and not have a balanced attack offensively. When you shoot those many threes, your inside game got to balance it out. The reason why Coach K, and I'm speaking on college basketball, I'm making a college basketball reference, but it's the same reference. The reason why Coach K has won 5 national titles because his inside game had balanced out his outside game. Traditionally, when Coach K is too one-dimensional, guess what? He doesn't win championships. He get put out in the first round or in the 4th round or the Elite 8 or whatever. The best way to balance out a good shooting team is to have a good inside game, which is why I was happy when Golden State got Boogie Cousins. Whereas Kevin Durant wasn't a bad choice either, because Kevin Durant, he does balance out a lot of that shooting they have. Even though he shoots the threes a lot, he'll take it to the goal or he'll post up to get some points when Stephen Curry and John B. Thompson ain't doing too good. So when your perimeter shooting is getting bad, you got to get some easy baskets. Or if you're not gonna have a half-court inside game, hell, you know what I'm saying? Shit, get out in transition, score in transition, but don't continue to shoot the ball when there's opportunities there. Don't continue to kill yourself when there's opportunities there. Yes, you made a good point. When you shoot 53s, the percentages balances itself out. But there is a time and a place to play the percentage game, and there is a time and a place to play the hell, I need a basket game. And Budenholzer was doing that toward the end of the game, but it was too little too late. What happened was the Toronto Raptors made a comeback, and it was just too late. You gave them guys too much momentum. The thing about sports, regardless of the sport, when you give somebody momentum, you gotta either put it out or just don't give them momentum at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with the Milwaukee Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wanted to see Milwaukee win. Yeah. I picked Milwaukee to go to the NBA Finals. And to me, Milwaukee would have an easier time to beat Golden State than my boys, the Raptors.
Right.
The Raptors got to play perfect basketball against the Raptors. It's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. They got to play perfect basketball. But the Milwaukee Bucks, on the other hand, because of their talent level, because of the system Budenholzer installed in there, is not going – I mean, because of the system, they don't have to necessarily play perfect basketball because of the system they have in place. However, Budenholzer should have made some type of adjustments sooner than later, because when he started to make those adjustments, hell, you already gave the Raptors, aka the Crafters, when they playing bad basketball, you gave them too much momentum. And the thing is, you should have kept them as the Crafters as opposed to the Raptors. But shout out to your Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee's can come back and do their thing, but like you say, they're gonna have to keep that nucleus going. And again, it ain't no guarantee y'all may do something next year, because the Boston Celtics, I'm sure, regardless of how Kyrie plays or whether Kyrie stays, you know, they may be a better team than last year. Of course, Philadelphia is gonna come back. Ain't no telling who's gonna be the team to beat next year. But I say keep your nucleus going, and you know what I'm saying? Your team gonna be in the showing. So it is what it is, man. Not trying to get on your Milwaukee Bucks, man. I know you saw that meme, man, but much respect to the Milwaukee Bucks. Much respect to you as an individual as well, man. So, don't be too mad at your Milwaukee Bucks. Not many teams get to the conference finals. It's only 4 teams in the conference finals, man. So, what is your take on that, or if you got anything on that?
I don't have anything. Everything you said was solid.
Most definitely. Alabama football, as well as the Green Bay football. Well, I'm speaking on the Bart Starr situation, but Alabama football as well as the Alabama Crimson Tide, as well as the Green Bay Packers had lost a legendary guy in Bart Starr. Bart Starr had won 5 championships, 3 pre-Super Bowl days, and the first 2 Super Bowls, and was the first Super Bowl MVP ever. Bart Starr had revolutionized the the audible, which my boy Vince Lombardi was quoted as saying, I never doubted Bart Starr ever. You know what I'm saying? Because he pretty much was the first coach to really allow his quarterback to use audibles and change plays and stuff like that. He said, I rarely got on Bart Starr about changing the plays. You know what I'm saying? And it was a quote years ago that I heard from a football legend that, you know what I'm saying, Vince Lombardi said something real crazy to Bart Starr, and Bart Starr, you know what I'm saying, clapped back at him. I'm not sure what it was, you know what I'm saying, but Bart Starr had a bad game, and Vince Lombardi, he was a temperamental coach, and Bart Starr let him know, pretty much checked Vince Lombardi, like, hey man, I got you here, and we gonna win this shit, in quotation. I don't know the exact words that was said, but I know he checked Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi, and pretty much this has been the Green Bay Packers way. Of course, the Green Bay Packers, because of Bart Starr's ability to change the plays, has won the most championships in NFL history. Now, the most Super Bowls is by the New England Patriots in the Pittsburgh Steelers, but overall championships from Green Bay. Yeah, they have the most championships. So Bart Starr definitely was a legend. He played for the Crimson Tide pre-Bear Bryon days. I think Wallace Wade was the head coach at that particular time. I'm gonna look that up once my boy Craig started talking. But you know what I'm saying? This is, pre-Bear Bryant.
Before Bear Bryant. It was Wallace Wade.
Wallace Wade. Yeah, Wallace Wade, who won, I think he won like 4 championships with Alabama. I want to say 3 or 4, one of them hoes. But when he came to Alabama, you know what I'm saying, he was a little, recruiting wasn't as big as it is now, because you got guys that are in middle school that are looked at now. But he was like the unexpected great quarterback at Alabama, and he set the tone for the Ken Stablers. He set the tone for Joe Willie Namath. He set the tone for pretty much the quarterbacks like the Peyton Mannings. He set the tone for the Dan Fouts. He set the tone for every quarterback. It's a couple of quarterbacks like the Otto Grahams, but Otto Graham ain't got shit on Bart Starr. Revolutionizing.
That's apples and oranges though, bro. Because Otto had an arm on him, dog.
Yeah, Otto had an arm on him, but Bart Starr used his head more than his hands to win a championship. Shout out to my boy Lord Drag, my boy Neff. You know what I'm saying?
Going on, fellas?
Much respect to you, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the cool.
Otto Graham was a dual threat. He was and I think all dual, that's another subject, another time when I say this. Dual threat quarterbacks need to study some Otto Graham film, dog. He was a pass first. He used his head. He was a pass first, and it was a situation he didn't like. That's when he started taking off running. It ain't no, I'm gonna run. I know 5 guys wide open. I'm finna run. Jalen Hurts, but Yeah, but Bart Starr, man, and I pulled up some, and I heard how he revolutionized the game, and I pulled up some what Bart Starr said, and
I'm sorry,
this
bro.
this guy
You
from
went in and out, brother. I'm sorry
says,
about that. You went in and out. Just repeat what you just said
okay,
and take over.
I I said that I found this little snippet. This one of these coaches on Twitter posted up something about what Bart Starr said about Vince Lombardi, and he said, and I quote, because of the Green Bay Packers' success under Vince Lombardi, thousands read of his beliefs, desires, and principles, but few really knew him. I was one of the privileged pro football players to play for him. I knew this complex man, this man of many moods, better than most because, as his quarterback, I spent more time with him. Lombardi felt that every fiber in your body should be used in an effort to seek excellence, and he sought this goal every day of his life with complete dedication. He stated this thought eloquently to us one day in the meeting. And quote, the quality of a man's life is in direct proportion to his commitment to excellence, regardless of his chosen field or endeavor. I consider this to be the finest statement he ever made to the Packers squad. It is the typical of the man, direct, sharp, inspirational, and compassionate. Notice the word football is not mentioned. He never treated football as an end result, but rather as a means to an end. He was concerned with the full total life. It emphasized his commitment and flaming desire to excel. He was tough on his players because he was tough on himself. He never expected more from us than he was willing to give of himself. He would not tolerate excuses or compromises, but was interested only in results. Tough, demanding, abrasive. He was also compassionate and understanding. For though he recognized that absolute perfection is never attainable, he believed the quest for it can be one of the most challenging races that an individual can run. Then he ended off, because it was the book about Vince Lombardi. He said, I know that as you read this book, his dedication, his desire, his pride of performance, his confidence, and his teaching ability will be vividly displayed in the diagrams and words which so fully illustrate and describe the genius of this great man. Bart Starr. Talking about
Most
Vince Lombardi.
most definitely, man.
So,
And Vince Lombardi is definitely but anytime you're able to G check the fucking Vince Lombardi, I know they kind of squashed it uh uh after they had their little beef, you know what I'm saying, which was pretty much well known, but Bart Starr was his guy. They only lost one championship game under one another when Vince Lombardi was quoted as saying after losing to the Philadelphia Eagles, and when they play bad, they're the Philadelphia Weasels. You know what I'm saying? He said, I'm never going to lose a championship game again. And they didn't after that. You know what I'm saying?
and then, later on, Lombardi went to Washington.
Yep, he went to Washington, but he was in poor health at the time. He was in poor health at the time that he went to
Yeah, he
Washington.
had colon cancer.
Yeah, so he wasn't at his best, and but other than that, Lombardi, you can't mention Vince Lombardi without
Bart
mentioning
Starr.
Bart Starr, because he was the first guy to really give his quarterback the keys to the keys to the
To the king.
house.
Yep.
To the, you know what I'm saying? And the actual head coach under Bart Starr was Harold Drew, who won one SEC title. That's the exact guy. That's the reason why I let you take over. Wallace Wade was well out, but he did was awarded 3 national titles at the time, and then Frank Thomas took over. He ended up retiring well after that. So, but
Yeah.
With Bart Starr, man, he's going to be truly missed. In all you quarterbacks out there, future quarterbacks, black quarterbacks, Mexican quarterbacks, whoever the fuck you is, study Bart Starr on how he changed the game and how he revolutionized the game, because he introduced the hot read to the NFL. Now the hot read in college was by a guy at Florida State. I'm gonna look him up in just a minute. But he pretty much revolutionized changing the plays. He also revolutionizing getting the running back involved in terms of the pass offense. You know what I'm saying? He revolutionized that. You know what I'm saying? Which ended up becoming a key element to the West Coast / Sid Gilman / Eric Coryell. Yeah, yeah. So he revolutionized that because like Elijah Pitts, he was quoted as saying Elijah Pitts, who was the black guy behind Paul Hornung at running back, he was the greatest running back to catch the ball out of the backfield. But unfortunately, Elijah Pitts, he succumbed to a lot of injuries throughout his career. But he was a damn good catcher out of the backfield and stuff like that. So all you quarterbacks out there, you know what I'm saying, regardless of his being old school or new school or whatever, it's you never too old or young to learn. And he's a
Thank
lot of
you.
that he knew, a lot of the shit he did, a lot of quarterbacks do today, but he started that shit. And because Vince Lombardi believed in him. After he had that stiff conversation with Vince Lombardi, he was like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Let me do what I do, basically. And Vince Lombardi said, okay, this is your team. So a lot of people need to study what he did because he studied game film against other teams. I mean, Tom Brady ain't got shit on that man. I don't give a fuck
Thank
if
you.
you win 10 championships. You ain't got shit on fucking Bart Starr. Because Bart Starr did everything that motherfucker did, Bart Starr already did in the 60s. So to the Alabama salute from the Crimson Tide alumni to a fan of just good football. You gonna be truly miss Bart Starr, man. And again, young bucks, study Bart Starr. Study him.
Yeah, and I got
Study
something
him.
to say. I know you're gonna ask. I don't care if you mix with black and white, black and Chicano. All of you hot dog quarterbacks, and I've said this too. Don't listen to ESPN, and
Agreed.
especially that guy by the name of Jalen Butthurts, and you in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I call him, you call him
Chocolate.
Choklahoma, I call him Fucklahoma.
Chocolate.
I call him Fucklahoma. But
You ain't shit for that. You ain't shit. Go ahead. Go
but
ahead.
guys like Jalen Hurts, Jacob Eason, Tua, especially all the Auburn quarterbacks, Felipe Lopez down in Florida, especially you, Kelly Bryant in Missouri, but yeah, you're not an exception to the rule because you transferred to a team that's on probation. All y'all ass need to study study Bart Starr. Since Jalen Hurts tweeted something about he's a legend, so to be missed. Yeah, you better study from him. I think
Mm-hmm.
all you quarterbacks need to study from the shit. Hell, uh, I don't mean to go off subject, off position. LaDainian said there have been a couple college players, running backs, that was studying LaDainian Thompson film
Mm-hmm.
on how to get better. He didn't say any names who it was, but he said he's gonna let y'all find out.
Yeah.
As far as him being a multi-purpose running back,
Yep.
as far as him being, being able to pass the ball, being able to catch the ball, line up as receiver, being a running back. You know, but quarterbacks, you need to learn how to study. You need to learn how to make reads because, like they said, like with Kyle Murray, and I can believe it. The knock on Kyle Murray is he doesn't pay attention to game film. His blackboard acumen is fucked up. Yeah, that's typical for black quarterbacks, but it's every quarterback. I heard that about Auburn's Jared Stedman.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Stedman didn't even know from what I was reading. Somebody told Jared Stedman to draw up a play, the slot cross play. He didn't know what the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest play there is out of the West Coast Conference, West Coast Conference, the West Coast playbook. He didn't know what the hell it was. And then coach said, well, y'all did run, y'all in Malzahn's game, y'all did run the West Coast offense, did you? And Stedman went off and said he didn't know what they were running. I mean, at least he was honest, but y'all need to learn from guys like I said, the Tom Landrys.
Mm-hmm.
Learn from the Tom Landrys. Learn from the Vince Lombardis, because they both were assistants, for the New York Giants. Vince Lombardi was the offense, coordinated the offense. Landry coordinated the defense. You coaches need to be inventive as far as defenses go. I mean, if you want to have defensive game plans, pull a page out of Bill Belichick's game plan. Playing ahead in teams early. You know, do something like that. Quarterbacks need to learn how to make reads, how to look at the routes.
Yeah.
Learn how to do all that. Stop hot dogging. Stop thinking about run first, pass later. No, that's your position is quarterback. You are basically the captain of the enterprise.
Yep.
Your running back is the Scotty, and your wide receivers is the Mr. Sulu, the Uhuras, and the Docs, and everybody else. Learn how to be better captain. Study game film. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, and one more thing about about the hot read. The hot read in college was invented by Bill Peterson, which, you know, the Don James, the Bobby Bowdens, the Vince Gibsons, the Al Conover when he was at Rice, Gene McDowell, Joe Gibbs, Bill Parcells, Ken Meyer, Earl Bruce, Bobby Ross. That's just to name a few coaches that are Hall of Famers or college football Hall of Famers that he coached. But, you know, he pretty much created the hot read in college. You know, Bart Starr pretty much came up with that in the pro game, which at that time people was running the football for the most part outside of the Detroit Lions and of course the what's they got? What's the Cleveland Browns? You know, even though they had Jim Brown running the ball as well. So again, he's going to truly be missed, Bart Starr. And again, study game film, like my brother said, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to be a run first quarterback, but if you are a run first quarterback, be more deceptive with what you do to the defenses. If you're going to be a run first quarterback, you know, I don't suggest you do that, but, you know, at least, you know, do what Russell Wilson does. Use your mobility to get people wide open downfield, because it ain't no other quarterback. If I'm a mobile quarterback, I would study Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson don't always run first. He uses his mobility for a number of things. He uses his mobility to get people wide open. Same thing with Jeff Garcia when he was playing for the 49ers, when he's playing for the Eagles and for the Cleveland Browns. He used his mobility as a way to get people wide open. So if you're going to study anybody, if you're a mobile quarterback, study that guy. Other than that, you know, learn how to read defenses. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to change the playbook. You know what I'm saying? It is important to do that. And offensive coordinators, stop handicapping people. Just stop handicapping people. That's another factor. That's another thing I have to call out.
That is something Jaquez Green, shout out to him, by the way. He said that on his Twitter. You handicap your quarterback, you handicap yourself in the process.
Exactly. And you handicap your way on to taking L's and stuff like that. So don't handicap your quarterback, and study some Bart Starr. Study some Bart Starr so y'all can get better as QBs, man. Do you have anything else?
And speaking of Jock, he's now offensive coordinator at a high school in Georgia. So at the high school he was the offensive coordinator at Godby, Florida. I mean, they damn near won the state, and from what I was reading, their offense wasn't about shit the previous years before he got there. And then when he got there, when he took over the playbook, they were lights out. So, I mean, now he's at a high school in Georgia, and you can follow him on Twitter too, Jimmy, and everybody else, Marcus Johnson, everybody else.
Actually,
okay, at Jaquez Green. Great guy to talk to about football, stuff like that. He even talks about things about life. Hell, wouldn't mind having him on the show. I ought to tweet him. In fact, I will.
Yeah, I think he's in the Atlanta. Let me copy paste real fast, and I think he's in Atlanta now because he went to Valdosta High School up on northern.
Yeah, northern Georgia, and Yeah,
Yes.
that Valdosta, they said Valdosta, that name is really poison in the Georgia area, around that Atlanta area. A long story about that. So,
Oh, we already know.
uh, but we already know, but it's poison up in that area. That name is poison. And consider the fact that uh, I had wanted to live in Georgia, Valdosta mainly. But when I found out about that shit, I was like, okay. But
Atlanta
but
area.
yeah,
He's in the Atlanta area because he's by Stockbridge, Georgia. So that's it. He's pretty much in the Atlanta area. It's further out in the suburbs. It takes you about maybe 40 minutes to get there, but he's still in the Atlanta area. He went to McDonough High School out in Georgia. So yeah, he's out there now. Yep. People love
yep,
Atlanta. I know that. But yeah, shout out to Jacquez Green, man. Hopefully you do good, man, out there, man.
yeah.
Do
You
very good.
turn around another offense like you did Godby, Florida.
Oh yeah, man. Because he was out
Cause
in
I
Tallahassee.
Yeah, cause I was watching one of their games on YouTube. Man, ooh wee. He put some there was one school they were playing against, man. He shit. He put some of that old school Florida fun and gun on. Whoo.
Mhm.
He changed it up. First half he ran that, then the second half the man went straight out for him. One
Mhm.
back and eye formation. Shit.
Yep.
So yeah, so McDonough got them a winner, man. And I think he's gonna be, if his alma mater give him a chance, but
Uh,
knowing Dan Mullen, if he does hire Jacquez Green, then Jacquez will probably have to run Dan Mullen's offense. So I mean, Jack could be safer where he's at. So hopefully with whatever's going on with McDonough, he can turn them around. So big shout out to him in that regard.
and if I was Kirby Smart, I would probably hire him as one of the assistants because he's not far from Athens either. Because Athens is
Oh
not far.
hell yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if I'm Georgia Tech, I would look into get him because all you gotta do is drive down to 75 South and you're pretty much at McDonough High School. So I mean, it is what it is when it come to that, man. You got anything else you want to talk about in terms of that? And before we go to the next topic,
No, sir.
okay, Auburn football has lost a legend in the announcing department, man. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunate situation as far as that. Rod Bramlett, the voice of Auburn Tigers football, basketball, as well as baseball, he had died in a car crash. Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead around the 6 o'clock time in the morning on Sunday morning. He was 50. He was 52 years old. His wife was 53 years old. They ended up airlifted to UAB hospital at the time of the crash. Um, they had multiple injuries at the emergency room. They were also transferred to East Alabama Medical Center as well. Um, the name of the 16-year-old driver that they crashed into, uh, he, they don't has not been released, but there's an ongoing investigation in terms of this tragic situation. He was the lead. He's been the lead announcer since 1993. Um, for the baseball team, he took over the play-by-play announcing duties around 2003 when Auburn had went undefeated that year. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People around Auburn, particularly Coach Malzahn, he was like, "Man, I'm very heartbroken. This happened, and it's always a pleasure to work with." In a statement, uh, when it was announced that he had passed away, he loved Auburn. He showed how much he worked, and his family came first and foremost. He said, "We will continue to pray and offer our support to the Bramlett family, especially their children, Shelby and Joshua." The Auburn
Mm-hmm.
baseball team also, had an honor of Bramlett earlier during their season. He was also a three-time winner of the Alabama State Broadcaster of the Year Award 2006, 2010, and 2013. You know what I'm saying? He was also honored with the national uh, broadcaster of the year for that play that yours truly Alabama that kept y'all out of the national title and had y'all to play Oklahoma, which y'all end up getting the shit beat out of you. But good thing y'all got
Fuck
y'all
Lahoma.
revenge on fuck Oklahoma. So, but any other than that, man, regardless of whether I'm a rival or a friend, man, this is definitely tragic in this situation. I hope the kids end up okay. I hope
Yeah,
y'all Auburn family can come together. Yes, you got an Alabama guy on the line, but hey, you know what I'm saying? This is definitely tragic, and our prayers and thoughts are with the family, man. What you have to say
yeah,
about that, bro?
man, most definitely. But the kids though, I hope they're not young or teenagers, or they're probably about grown. Hopefully, it's tough losing. Take it from me, it's tough losing a parent. But when you lose two, damn, that's gonna be tough. So thought like you said, thoughts and prayers to him. I mean, but and I even heard his voice. He called a damn good voice. I thought it was, and the way he was calling, he sounded like a young dude, man. I didn't know that man was that young. You know.
Yeah,
So
there's
so when that happened in what was that 2013 or
13.
something like that? Yeah, 2013 when Auburn beat us, he had to be about, and he's 52 and he passed. So he still was in his late 40s and he sounded like a young dude.
Yeah.
So and you really have to be on your craft anytime you win a National Broadcaster of the Year and you were a two-time SEC Broadcaster of the Year. So you have to. So yeah, you are you are in high demand, and I don't know who to have next in line to replace him, Rob Bramlett. That's gonna be a tough act to follow.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
when Keith Jackson passed, excuse me, when Keith Jackson passed away, everybody knew that was gonna be a tough act to follow.
Oh yeah, man. Keith had the announcer's voice. Um, and he was also an Alabama guy. Uh,
Yep.
Keith Jackson. He was also an Alabama guy. So that that's a tough one to follow as well,
Yep.
man. But he is AB. Keith Jackson was ABC Sports,
Yep.
especially going into the to television era. He was ABC Sports. He was ABC's college football, and for a long time, college football during the regular season was only showed on ABC for until 1983, 82, 83,
83.
until till CBS, because CBS ended up doing the regular season football, but they always hosted the Cotton Bowl. The Cotton Bowl was on CBS. The Orange Bowl was on NBC, but the only time you could only see college football was on ABC for years.
Mm-hmm.
And then, ABC now ESPN came out, and then TBS, when they end up becoming a nationwide station, they end up having college football until 1988, and then they brought it back in the early 2000s
Yeah,
uh,
2005 with the Big 12.
with the Big 12. So
And
yeah,
shit, Big 12 was making, boy, yeah, man, Turner Sports is making money off that.
oh
I
yeah,
man,
so,
I stayed. I don't know why they pulled the plug on that shit, man. I'm like, bro, if you, because I remember a while back, TNT was showing NFL Thursday Night Football,
yeah, and it was
and
better.
it was better on TNT than it is now with Fox. Well, with Fox getting it, I'm put it like this: it's both tiff and tack. Any one of them networks need to keep Thursday Night Football better. I'd rather for TNT or Fox to get Thursday Night Football than to have somebody like ESPN, you know, or whatever.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't. I would. Hey, I would love to see Well, I would love for ABC to get Monday Night Football back.
well, yeah, I would rather it be on national TV if I'm a football fan than it is on that. And then uh, it's crazy, bro. So, but definitely rest in peace to Rob Bramlett and to his wife, and shout out to the kids as well. Hopefully, they're in good hands as well if they're not
Yeah,
already. So it is what it is. But on another topic, Aladdin went #1 at the box office. You know, mainly because of the screenwriting as well as Will Smith, man. And I got a chance to see it. Got a chance to see it Saturday afternoon. Outside of a few perks, I think he did a good job with Genie. He definitely carried that movie, hands down. Did you get a chance to see it?
No, but I will hopefully this weekend. I'm definitely gonna catch that, and then I really need to catch one of my supervisors at my job told me to check out John Wick 3. So I may see that. I may check out Wick 3 first and then check out Aladdin. But a lot of people I've been seeing like on Facebook, some people liked Aladdin and some people didn't. But as a mark, I would definitely go see Lion King.
Yeah, I definitely
because go ahead.
No, just go ahead.
Because and let me tell you something, people. Got to give credit to Jon Favreau. He's a director, and he also was in the Avengers movies. He played Tony Stark's his buddy, Happy Hogan. Okay, got to give him credit, man, because he come with the quickness on this, and then the cast that he got. He said he wanted to stick with the original. I mean, he got a good cast for this Lion King movie. He got the right dude. What I forgot his name. Chiwetel, if you pronounce it better, the dude Scar.
Uh-huh.
And from the previews of when they show with Scar, oh man, he is Scar.
Wow.
Because I mean, I thought Idris Elba and Shere Khan, whoo, and Jungle Book was a mother. Woo! It's tiff and tack. But Idris can voice a heck of a villain. Chiwetel does a dog. He does a real good Scar. He was being himself. He was being sinister with it. Now I would have loved for Jeremy Irons to come back to do it. But Chiwetel fit the bill for this new Lion King, and then you got Alfred Woodard in the role of Simba's mom, which is a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I agree.
Because which is a pretty good pick, and then you got Childish Gambino, Donald Glover to play the old Simba. But I wouldn't. But now as far as like the hyenas went, should have went back and got Whoopi and Cheech.
Yeah, because number one, they still alive, and two, I mean, and that's another thing about a lot of these remakes. They should bring back some of the original people, which Aladdin been around for like thousands of years ago. You know, that's an old Arabian folk tale, so you can't really bring back the originals on that one. But like with the Chucky movie, where I have a very big issue on them not even bringing back Brad Dourif, who's really the Chucky guy. He played Chucky in every movie unless up to this point. And then who they got as Chucky, Mark Hamill, which is good if they're just going to leave him there for one remake. But if you want to continue that Chucky franchise, you need to get a guy a little bit younger than Mark Hamill. I think he'll do a good job because he's so good of an actor, yeah. But I don't like the idea of not bringing back the original director / screenwriter, and I don't like the idea of them leaving Brad Dourif out, because really, to tell you the truth, he made the movie. Shit, especially the part about you bitch. That was my favorite part. The goddamn child's play up in this hole when she tried to go away. That was like, you bitch. I love that part. I'm like, damn, man.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't know who Brad Dourif is, go watch the movie Wands Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as the special needs guy in the movie at the mental institution. Of course, he killed himself at the end of the movie, but that's who Chucky is. Right. But and he was also nominated for an Oscar for that role.
Wow.
I never knew that, and
Me
I knew
either.
who Chucky was. I knew who Chucky was for many years, but really Chucky was his niche out of everything because mostly that's who everybody remember him as. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's just like you not having Freddy Krueger, the original Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund in there. So
true.
uh and this dude made $400 million off that shit. Real nice guy according to people around Hollywood, like one of the nicest guys, but he played the shit out of fucking Freddy Krueger, man. But when you got guys who made your movie the way Brad Dourif made Chucky, regardless of the how many sequels he had, pay some homage to that dude. Make him do a cameo or something. Get him to do something, man. I mean, I don't know what's up with these movie studios. You know what I'm saying? Because like when back in the 2000s, when they started making remakes of old TV shows, like the Dukes of Hazzard, like a number of different Starsky and Hutch, they paid homage.
Hold it though.
Mhm, mhm.
Those two movies right there, especially Atlanta. I don't want that. I do not want those titles mentioned around me because Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson fucked that movie up. Starsky and Hutch.
But here's why I mentioned that, because they brought the original Starsky and Hutch toward the end of the movie. That's
true.
why I'm saying they might have fucked the movie up because they made it they made it out into a comedic thing. That's why it was fucked up, because they made it the writers and the directors made it comedic. It shouldn't have been comedic because Starsky and Hutch was a fucking action drama movie. Same thing with
and it has some comedy in it.
Same thing with 21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street should have never been made a fucking, and it was moist as hell. I didn't like the way they did that because we grew up on 21 Jump Street.
Johnny Depp, Holly Robinson, Pete,
we came out the womb.
Peter DeLuise.
We came out the womb on 21 Jump Street, bro. I mean, me in particular, because you're a little bit older than I am, but man.
I watched it.
Yeah, they fucked 21 Jump Street up. So I'm saying, guys, stop fucking these movies up. Now, I will say this about Aladdin. They did a damn good job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You could, like, as far as Genie, I don't know if he blew Robin Williams out of the water. As far as Genie, I say it's about tit for tat. I say, I'll give Will Smith the better personality, but Robin Williams was the funnier Genie out of everybody.
Because
as Genie, this Genie in particular, he was trying to lace the Aladdin character with some games. So he was kind of like a little hitch in some ways. So he did a good job trying to mentor him more than the Genie. Like Robin Williams was the fun, comedic Genie. You know what I'm saying? That's not to take anything away from. So that's why I say it's about tit for tat. If you want to go with personality and mentorship, the Genie, he did a good job doing that as far as the Genie. If you want to go with the comedic Genie, then Robin Williams was the guy for you. So it's about tit for tat. But, this definitely, they made the right decision by putting Will Smith in there, because they wouldn't have been number one at the box office had it not been for Will Smith's ability to improv and, because sometimes you got to have a lead actor, because mostly everybody in this movie is relatively unknown, except, Guy Ritchie. Except Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie was the director, but, of course, we know him by his marriage of Madonna. You had Mina Musad, who was the Aladdin. Then you had Naomi Scott. She's mostly a Disney movie character. And like I was telling you off air, I didn't know this is a black woman, because I did my research on this woman. This woman is, black and white, with her mom mixed with a little bit of Indian, but you know how I feel about them people. But, again, she did a good job as Jasmine too. I respect her role, but it was mainly carried by Will Smith. Mainly, Jafar did a good job, but still, Will Smith led the way. Will Smith led the way. And what I also liked about the casting, unlike the original Aladdin, Disney Aladdin, is they put a lot of people from the Middle East, on the exception of Will Smith and Naomi Scott. They put a lot of Middle Eastern people as as the characters. The Sultan is from Iran. The guy who played Aladdin, he's a Canadian / Arabic descent from Egypt.
Right.
Jafar, Tunisian. So they had it right because prior to the original Aladdin, we're talking about the 1992 Aladdin when we talk about the original screenplay or the modern day screenplay. They got a lot of flack from the Arab League when they did the Aladdin back in 1992. A lot of people forget that. They got a lot of flack because most of the characters was white.
Right.
But it was a cartoon. But they got a lot of flack from the Arab League. But this time they did it better. They did it right this time. They put, the main character, on the exception of the couple of main characters, Naomi Scott and Will Smith, everybody was pretty much from the Middle East or had some Arabic descent in them. So they did it right this time. If they're trying to please the Arab League, they did it right this time. You know what I'm saying? And the screenwriting did a good job. Guy Ritchie and John August, who was the screenwriters, they did a good job. I think Disney had it right this time. I say the movie probably makes like 700. I don't know if they get to $1 billion because they're going to get some heavy hits next week, like Godzilla. I think Godzilla going to pretty much be the number one at the box office next week. So I think they're probably going to be number 2 or number 3. Week after this, they're going to go up against Shaft. So I think if they do go number 1, it's probably going to be just for next week. And then Shaft is probably going to take them out in terms of, number 1 at the box office. But great job by Disney, for coordinating everything and getting everybody together and having the right niche. And they also paid homage to Robin Williams at the end of the movie credits. So that's a good thing as well. And on a backstory of that, did you know Disney fucked Robin Williams out of his normal salary? Did you know that?
Yeah. That's why he said never mention Disney anymore. Don't mention Disney to him anymore.
Because his typical salary, and this is at the time where you started seeing actors, have 5 million plus, 10 million, 20 million a movie. Robin Williams' initial salary was typically $8 million a movie. This is the prime Robin Williams. We're talking about, Good Morning Vietnam. We're talking about Popeye. We're talking about a host of other movies. The Fisher King, which made $400 million at the box office. We're talking about a guy in his prime. Disney fucked, and I'm saying fucked Robin Williams out of his $8 million a year salary. And the Screen Actors Guild nearly filed a lawsuit against him against Disney as well, because his salary was supposed to be $8 million. Did you know Disney only paid Robin Williams $75,000 to be the union?
Wow.
$75,000.
I bet you, but hold on. He got that $8 million back because they be showing the hell out of Aladdin too.
That's why the Screen Actors Guild was about to sue him. And they ultimately he got it back and then some. But his upfront payout was $8 million per movie, because we're talking about the prime Eddie Murphys, the prime Robin Williams. We're talking about, this is when comedy was the big movies at the box office at this time. And when these guys started seeing those big $10, $20 million checks up front, because at the time you had to do a percentage pay. Just like, for instance, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito with the movie Twins. They did a percentage pay with Twins, and they end up getting $50 million a piece from each other. And the movie sold like 200. Yeah, go ahead.
They supposed came out with a sequel, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but they did a percentage pay, which typically what they did. Now he was supposed to get his money up front, and they fucked him. And the Screen Actors Guild filed a lawsuit against Disney, and they ultimately end up dropping that money off. But that's the reason why Robin Williams did not do the Genie during the afternoon TV run.
Right.
Because it was about somebody different. I don't know who that is off the top of my head, but they fucked Robin Williams, unfortunately. And he made the movie just like Will Smith made this movie. Yeah. the Aladdin guy did a good job with the voiceover. Jasmine in the '92 sequel was cool. I think
Right.
Jasmine did better than the Jasmine in '92. Um, Jafar, I think that it's even. Jafar was pretty even.
Yeah,
In this,
and one thing I can give with Disney, they do give some they get some virtual unknowns and
Mhm.
to play the villains. Cause like with like I'm a Pirates of the Caribbean buff. Okay.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I I like the fact that Javier Bardem did the villain in this last one.
Uh-huh.
They get some good man. They be getting some good people to play these villains, man. Like Jeffrey Rush, he was the villain in the first one, but then he turned out to be the hero. He
Right.
died a hero when he found out this girl that was born on was his daughter.
Right.
Because he told
And
Tell, he said, I left. He said, the only thing I remember about was something. He said, your mother said she left you at an orphanage. He wanted to disown it first, but then he got to thinking about it. And when Johnny Depp told her, he was like, Johnny Depp told her, he said, you might as well just face the facts. She's you. So
exactly. And speaking of Disney has the top four biggest budgeted movies in movie history. For those who
mhm,
don't know, because of course the Avengers, the last two Avenger movies were the highest budgeted movies in history. Pirates of the Caribbean, the last two Pirates of the Caribbean movie were the highest budgeted movie because and one thing about Disney, uh, to they really spend money to get these movies off the ground. You know what I'm saying? Because like Disney gonna make sure they make their profit. That's one thing about them when it comes to their movies, and they gonna make their profit for sure. And
okay,
normally they don't have outside producers like Universal or Warner Brothers and stuff like that. They don't normally have outside producers in the process of making a lot of these, especially their comic books. Kevin Feige is the guy that's running Marvel, and he done a great job with the Avengers as well as the Black Panther. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I mean, he's
And I mean, cut you off. The dude that does the voice of Homer Simpson, Dave Castaneda, he did the voice of the genie in the Aladdin TV show.
yeah,
And
correct.
he
Absolutely.
did a damn good job. Got to give it to him. He did a good job.
Oh yeah, not even I'm not even taking that away from that
He
brother.
did a real good job.
He did a good job to make it, and like I said, Kevin Feige, he made sure that the Black Panther movie had enough budget. He didn't go cheap on with the movie because he had a black director and two black screenwriters, Ryan Coogler, and I can't think of the other screenwriter off the top of my head, but he made sure that movie did what it needed to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and then he not only that, he used the Black Panther as a way to promote the last Avengers movies. That was smart on his end. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Kevin Feige on in that regard, man. Marvel's in good hands ever since uh, Stan Lee Stan Lee passed away. They're in good hands. So as long as
Right.
Fiji's there, he gonna make sure everything is situated though, man. But shout out to Aladdin, shout out to Disney for making it do what it do, man. So much respect to them as well. You got anything you want to add to that before we go to the next and final topic, man?
No, but looking at this voice cast on here, man, Disney had a who's who. I mean, shit, especially my boy Keith David, who would later get his own voiceover in one of the best well-written cartoons ever. And then I'm studying them shows how well they written to this day. And it was my pops' favorite, Gargoyles. And
Gargoyles.
yes, and they are on YouTube, people. So yeah, I've been. That's what I'm gonna be doing on the Sundays I have off. Early in the morning, binge watching Gargoyles. Well written. But
Oh
other than
yeah.
that, I have nothing to add, Jimmy. But what's the last topic?
The last topic is my boy Byron Allen, man. As
Mm-hmm.
you know, Byron Allen, he had bought the Weather Channel. A
Right.
black guy, much
Right.
respect, former comedian, former actor. That brother is making moves, and I have nothing but respect for my boy Bryon Allen. But he bought 4 small market television stations out in Louisiana for $165 million. Entertainment Studios announced on the heels of Friday's news that he had joined Sinclair Broadcast Group in the $10.6 billion acquisition of 21 regional sports networks that Disney's required to resell because they cannot be a monopoly. They cannot monopolize the market. Disney tried to do some slick shit by buying out 21st Century Fox assets, and they got to drop it off. Yeah, you got to drop that shit off because this ain't no communist country, ho. So drop that shit off. But anyway, Allen joined Sinclair as an equity partner in the newly established Diamond Holdings Ventures that will house 4 of his entertainment ventures into the Bayou City stations in Evansville, Indiana, Lafayette, Louisiana, and a couple of other stations. The television stations mark the expansion of the entertainment studios, which operate 9 cable channels, including the Weather Channel. The company is privately solely owned by Bryon Allen. He also is looking to buy more. He's also looking to buy out more stations, adding to the bigger affiliates with the MVPDs as the entertainment studios. It will carriage the deals as MVPDs. It's undoubtedly no accident that he's purchased the stations with affiliate networks that have football rights packages as a huge asset to their station. Now, the chilling relations with the MVPDs because Allen has filed a lawsuit against entering that there's discrimination against the company. The litigation is pending against Comcast and Charter Communications. Although the stations have served small markets, 3 of those big 4 networks. He was also praised the Bayou City owner, DeJuan McCoy, announcing the deal. DeJuan McCoy is an outstanding broadcaster, and he has done a phenomenal job assembling the strong management to operate these affiliate networks. This is also a milestone for our company as we agreed to purchase the very first broadcast television station and continue to look for more opportunities to grow. McCoy said that Allen's companies are perfect position to continue the strong tradition of these stations serving our community. So definitely shout out to Bryon Allen for making these moves as a black man, because there ain't too many people doing it, and he's doing it on the low as well. And this went over a lot of people's heads. So what are your thoughts on Bryon Allen making moves for the people, man?
He needs to stay doing it on the low.
Exactly. Bought the Weather Channel. You know how
that was, when he did that, was like, what?
And you know how important the Weather Channel is because everybody has a connection to the Weather Channel too. That was a smart investment. And if I'm Bryon Allen, I'm saying it now because even though I'm a small YouTube channel, small YouTube channels go a long way. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, Bryon, if you're listening, do not sell the Weather Channel because people really need the Weather Channel. Every weather app uses the fucking Weather Channel.
Man, hey. And I remember when Prime Star was bought out by DirecTV, and they would have like the music channels and stuff with the Weather Channel. Hey, that was a big part too, because Weather Channel, man, they they were a news station too, but they reported the weather and stuff like that. But hey, he you know what, Byron's making a very good investment on this, man. Real talk.
Man.
Shit. And let's see, I got my hot dogs on there. But this last topic is gonna be mine, and then we're gonna be done. The psychology of us people, we need to work on our psychology. I think it's a great move on his part. And I feel, people like him, along with others, should make moves like that as well.
I agree.
Because I mean, and keep it on the low, don't broadcast it, because hey, sooner or later, as you know it, Byron is going to be he's going to be a billionaire when he gets done.
If he ain't
I mean,
already.
if he isn't already, because I remember he used to have that late night with Byron Allen thing, and then he kind of was slacking off a little bit. Like some of his little talk shows be coming on at like 2 and 3 in the morning and stuff like that. And then I was like, I was okay. I said, he ain't as funny as he used to be, you know. But now you know why, you know. But now he's silently making moves, and as individuals, as you know, it's not just blacks, but as everybody, you should make moves like that. Like right now, Roger Staubach is almost by himself a self-made billionaire.
Right.
Look it up. Hell,
I
Drew
already know.
Pearson.
He's the
Drew
he's the
Pearson. Drew Pearson is almost, you know, he has a software company. And
right.
he said Roger Staubach put some money in that. And he was like, he said when he got looked at that statement one day, he was like, whoa. So he said Roger made a nice investment that paid off in the end. Drew Pearson is a millionaire, multi-millionaire, you know. But hey, Byron, he's making some moves under the radar, and more of that should happen. You know, in my opinion, you know, and I'm happy for him. Man. I say, hey, I would not be surprised if Byron decides to go bigger, go buy out somebody bigger.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. And Roger Staubach actually put Emmitt Smith on game on how to invest his money. And it's playing off of Emmitt Smith as well, man. So shout out to both of those
Yeah,
brothers, man, as well, man. So, but definitely shout out to my boy Byron Allen, man. We need more of our people, man, making moves just like that. And he gets my respect. And again, don't sell that Weather Channel, man. Whatever you do, because people be really needing that shit. And you better not sell that hoe. I'm telling you that right now. Keep that in your back pocket, man. Man, shit. Take that shit to you. Take shit to the grave. Take that shit to the grave, bro. Real talk. But if you ain't got nothing else, do you got anything else, or because I think you said
yeah,
something about people.
yeah. I want to, the psychology about people. Um, Man, as everybody that listens, and and Jimmy and I will agree, we really do need to work on it. Uh, I still apply this little quote to this day. As somewhat Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells had quoted with Steve Harvey. Lord have mercy. I don't even fuck with him, man. Steve Young said, "The laboratory, Steve Young, the laboratory is a great place to observe human behavior.
Mm-hmm.
The workplace is a great laboratory. Matter of fact, here's mine. Your surroundings, whether it's at work or people you be around with and people you've dealt with all your life, is the biggest laboratory of to observe human behavior, let alone your whole family and your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got people, man, they got people that are so jaded these days, man. We don't, people don't have no interest in everything. They knock your interest. Um, you try to share helpful information to them. Like, I'm not gonna say any names or nothing. It's like one guy, several people I know, I can share something to them on Facebook. They'll untag their name on it, and then they'll share. They won't acknowledge till after the fact when you share the shit. Okay, if I share a link to you, at least give me credit for passing it on.
Right.
Okay, if I'm sharing something, whether, like I said, I got a buddy of mine, we cool, but if I share something like to you, like I said about shout out to my guy in Huntsville, Alabama, Conrad Thompson. He hosts 3 podcasts. Some to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, Houston's own, and then he does What Happened When with Tony Schiavone,
Right.
and 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff. And to me, nothing against Bruce Pritchard. I like him. He's informative. He tell funny stories. He be checking the shit out of folks, impersonate folks real good. But if you really want some informative shit, Eric Bischoff and Tony Schiavone are really the two dudes you should listen to. Because Tony Schiavone was announced at the time of NWA. Matter of fact, with Crockett Promotions. He talked about his little brief stint with WWE. And then what happened when he went back to WCW. Eric Bischoff told his story about when he was working for Vern Gagne at AWA, how he got the job at WCW, and what was like being an actual employee for WWE. It's all informative. But when you say shit like that don't interest you, you tend to forget. Yeah, we're living in a fucked up pre-programmed world.
Right.
Thanks to the media. Like, okay, for example, everybody in WWE want if you watch WWE program, which I don't, not anymore, because this wrestling is a fucking this version of wrestling, in my opinion, it's a fucking joke. 30-minute segments, it's the same old. And the quote Jim Cornette about what he said about a fellow wrestler, not gonna say what he said about Triple H back then, before he had a change of heart after seeing Triple H do his little thing on the NXT side of things, the little developmental territory that is basically what NWA is, basically what professional wrestling's supposed to be.
Right.
He said, and I quote, he said that listening to Triple H cut a promo is the equivalent to watching a dog lick his balls.
Did he really say that?
And it was funny as shit. But it was funny. I'll send it to you. He said, listening to Triple H cut a 25 to 30-minute promo is almost as equivalent to trying to watch a dog lick his balls for 25 to 30 minutes. It's not exciting.
Oh my goodness.
But it's funny. It's not a knock on Cornette, but it was funny. That's what I think about some things nowadays. And you got people today that are still stuck on their ways. People need to realize this. Look, this is about to be 2020. This isn't 1990. This isn't 1980. This isn't the high heel. This isn't the high heel housewife era. This isn't the Woodstock era. This isn't, this is the 70s era. This isn't the 80s. This isn't the 90s where your fuck ways still apply to grown children. Children change with the times. And let me tell you something. If you are myself and Jimmy's age and you still stuck on the times, my advice is you better get with the program. We got our psychology is just so fucking fucked up today. Like, it is just fucked up. Whether you believe everything in the entertainment world, we're living in the entitled era now, Jimmy. We're in the entitled era now, where even adults have become entitled. Even us old school adults have become entitled. To me, to a degree, I'm a new type of old school. I still believe in the ways how I was raised, respect people and stuff like that. But I evolve with the times. If like, for example, hey, like with everybody, when you get paid, I feel like this here, like with me. If I get paid, I don't need nobody telling me about what my damn priorities are. That's not your position. I don't care if you're family or not. You don't have that luxury with me. Let's show me somewhere in your bank account where it say you get paid to tell me what you can and can't do, what you can tell me to do with my money. Exactly. Unless you're my accountant, then you can say something to me. Other than that, you have no, I would say jurisdiction. You have no right to tell me what I need to do. That's one. Okay, with my money. Now, like Jimmy, what I look like telling you, if you bring home a solid, let's just roughly say, if you bring home a G a week,
right,
after taxes,
right,
what I look like telling you, oh, Jimmy, man, you getting a G a week.
Yeah.
But if your bill's paid, But see, here's the thing. All your shit paid. On that week, you get that G check. Not a gut check, people. This type of G check is different from the G check we were talking about. And in case people don't know what that means, a G check means a gut check. When we say we're gonna have the G check his ass, we're gonna have to gut check his ass. No. When Jimmy get that G check after taxes, and if his bills paid in that week, he's gonna save some money. What I look like telling him, oh well, Jimmy, you got that check for a week. Man, what you need to do with that, man, you need to pay your bill, man. Fuck all that shit. If you want to go out here today and put like this, if you got a check like that today, and if you want to go down, if you want to go somewhere and put $500 down on a car to get yourself to and from work, that's your business.
Uh-huh.
What I look like telling you, you ain't got no business putting $500 down on a car. I ain't got no business telling you that.
Uh-huh.
You know, like people tell me, Craig, you need to save your money. Look, I don't need people telling me to save my money. And then looking at some folks how, you know, you got people like, I'm just saying I'm not saying realistic, hypothetical. You know, when you have people that say they owe you money and stuff like that, but they turn around and telling you, or you seeing them posting up all on social media, they went to a concert and like this and that. But you know, them folks owe you money. What's wrong with your priorities? First of all, what's wrong with your psychology? How are you thinking?
Yeah, man.
We got people that are so, go ahead.
I mean, granted, some people buy their concert tickets in advance because, like, with concert tickets, man, especially if it's in a big venue like a 18,000, 8,000, even 5,000 is a pretty sizable concert venue.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to a big venue concert, I get why you would not have my money right then and there. But if I see you at the House of Blues where you can get to go to the concert at the door, bitch, we got a problem, ho. Drop my money off, ho. But go ahead and continue, brother.
Yeah, man. I mean, and it's like, okay, what's your psychology? And then, but like I said, when people don't have interest, like I have folks knock me on my talent, tell me back, I have one friend and she gonna never tell me I don't have nothing to show for with my talent. Okay, what talent you got?
Exactly.
And all she does, she just works all the time.
Exactly.
And when I say this, and when people say they always live, when you live that just work only lifestyle, you out the game automatically. You out the game automatically as far as what goes on in the world. If all you thinking about, it's nothing wrong with you thinking about, working, stacking your money, but you also had to show interest to the other parts of the world around you. Now, for example, I'm not talking bad about on here. I love my mom to death, but she know there are some lines you don't cross with me. Man, there are several main lines that you ain't supposed to cross with me. Does she try? A couple times she did, but she had to G-check herself mentally. Okay, like, okay, I know sometimes she tried to use. One time she tried to use reverse psychology on me, and I put it right back on, and I went like this. I said, oh, by the way, nice try. I'm not being disrespectful. I said, nice try. I said, I don't play psych. I said, I'm the wrong guy to play psychology game with. I'm good at it. Like I tell, I said, I understand you understand you're blind, but hey, if I had a car, you gotta get out, do something else more beside your routine, because I believe Aristotle or Einstein, I believe, said it best. Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Aristotle said that. We get up every morning, we are what we repeatedly do. Einstein said the same thing, equivalent, but he said that's also an equivalent of insanity, which it is. we're insane people. We get up every morning. You know, like I told my mom, Moms, what you get up every morning to do? That's just borderline insanity. TV reruns, this and that. Listen to the same reruns over and over. Man, change it up. I even told, I said, look, I'll get just some basic cable for us. I'll pay for it. Gig speed internet. That's it. No, she don't want that time. I said, she ain't got time for all them channels. I said, basic cable. I ain't got time. I said, basic cable. Basic cable is just all the regular channels, no additions or nothing. Well, I think about it. If I'm paying for it, if I say I'm gonna pay for it, I'm gonna pay for it. It shouldn't be nothing to think about. You know, it's not like I'm spending your money. You know, but there have been times, you know, and then sometimes, you know, and I kind of can read my mom a little bit. You know, she, like I said, she good at trying to play the psychologist role. She did it with my pops, but not with me. Like, I can tell I'm going to go somewhere, I got to repeat myself twice. Like, she'll get mad about it or something. And, you know, and just one time I said, I mean, I said, you know, hey, I don't mean, I said, I'm just going to come with the 100 on it, Mom. And she knows what that means. She's hip to the urban lingo.
Yeah.
And I just asked, I said, man, I said, Mom, is it a problem with me if I said I'm going out here to going about this and that? I said, let's be real. I said, because if I sit up in this house too long, I'm going to become insane. And, you know, she had said something, and, you know, I just left it alone. You know, it wasn't, you know, and I left it alone. But, you know, I don't want to be like, you know, you know, if I get, you know, pray to God, I get to be around that age and live more. I mean, I don't want to get to be like that. You know, that's insanity is part of psychology. And
Right.
insanity is just part of all the psychology, dog. And it just amazes me that people today are, you know, they're just so freaking oblivious about a lot of shit. And it's sad. They're oblivious. They don't take no particular interest on a lot of things. You know, like with my last job down in Alabama. Hey, I met, you know, at the uniform place, okay? I'm gonna say it out of respect. I met some great people. I met some damn good people. But you know, you also meet some ones. Hey, they can use a lot of work. They, you know, some of them can be a piece of work. You know, but I mean, nothing bad to say. But you know, and I can say this, you know, I always tell people, you know, hey, you ain't got to tell me shit out your mouth what you really think of me. I can just, you know, just go by how the way you move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said your body language is snitch. I said your body language your body language is snitch on you quicker than your mouth.
Yeah, your eye contact, all types of shit.
Eye contact, eye contact or whatever. I said even if you are making good you know, even if you are making good eye contact with me, I know how you really think about me. And I'm just gonna be honest here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Probably when I left that job, some people hated to see me go, but then there were certain few that was glad to see me go.
Right.
And you know, I don't care. And really, and with delight, if someone felt that way, all I gotta say is this: hey, I really don't care that, you know, and that I played by my own set of rules. If some of y'all felt that I was a problem, which I felt I wasn't, but if I was, I damn sure like to know how I was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a problem employee. I was outspoken and just gave no. I was outspoken, just gave no fucks. Because to be honest about me, some rules I did comply to.
Right.
Like, you know, some I did comply to, some I didn't. I mean, I really didn't care. I mean, you know, it's just some folks just had to learn. Hey, just leave me alone and let me do my job. That was it. If what I'm doing is bothering you, talk to me about it. You know, don't go to the supervisor and then come around and talk to me. No, bro. I'm like, And you know, hey, I had to G-check one of my last supervisor before he had left about that in the way. I'm like, look, man, if they can't come to me to tell me about what problem they got with me, this is short. I said, no disrespect to you. This is a short conversation. And sure enough, my message got back to the person that told him about what I said. And I said, yeah, I said it. I said, I'm not trying to start nothing. I mean, I just feel comfortable. I'm like this here. Sometimes I don't need them. Sometimes I don't. I said, you know, like with the safety glasses. Yeah, it's a requirement. We got to wear safety glasses. But at the job I was doing, I said, but sometimes, man, hey, they get foggy and at times they can block your peripheral vision a little bit, depending on what they do. And when they saw I was talking about it, like, yep. So, and then and he saw what I was talking about. They worked on the bet and got a better pair of goggles and saw what I was saying. It was like, yeah, Craig was right, you know. And you know, and then with this previous job, like one of the supervisors gonna ask me a question 3 times. So I turned around and asked him a question. I said, well, I'm not gonna say his name. I said, let me turn around and ask you a question. Why you study asking me the same question 3 times? And one of them and 2 of them were rhetorical.
I agree.
He couldn't say nothing. I said, no respect you now. And I had to tell him about, he said, I didn't ask you to. I said, yes, you did. I said, this is what you asked me. I told him, I said, well, you asked me why I don't have my safety glasses. You know, and I said, well, you know, and I said, the answer I gave you, I said, you're gonna turn around and tell me, and I cut him off quick. I said, I ain't trying to cut you off. You're gonna turn and tell me you understand, but you're gonna try to ask me the same question twice. I don't answer rhetorical questions. You're not supposed to answer rhetorical questions. I said, then when you tell me you understand, but that signifies, you know, I didn't tell him this because we was in a professional setting. You don't care. But with us, right, Jimmy, it's like you don't give a fuck about my answer if it's right or wrong. You're gonna turn around and do what you want, go into business for yourself and say, but this and that. No, don't go into business for me. Don't go into business of yourself based on me. You know, and I love no respect. I said, no, if you finna go do that, hey, this ain't the place you need to work. I said, if you want to go into business for yourself on somebody, go into business for yourself on yourself. That's what you should do. You know, psychology, hey, it's psychology, man. You got a lot of people with fucked up ass psychology. You know, you got some folks that, you know, they think now they get all they a supervisor and all the other shit at a little job now. All of a sudden, you know, like one prime example, you know, former place of employment, Road Dog, she's a manager now. I'm proud of her. But you know, I'm gonna say it live on here, and I'm gonna post it on Facebook. You fuck around, let you fuck around, let that comment your bank account change your attitude and change how you treat people. I'm not gonna fuck with you anymore. Period.
I agree.
Period. I mean, if Jimmy J finna make him 6 figures, I expect for him to be the same Jimmy J.
Exactly.
And it's vice versa for me. Don't let no damn money change you. Don't let money change you, because, you know, and shout out to my boy Trey Murph, man, because he and I, we were talking about a former acquaintance of his, and I wasn't too fond of them on some aspects, because I had to, I'm gonna put it like this. This person had pissed me off so bad, I had to get one of my old classmates that worked with him to G check him for me. Cause it was that to a point, man, where I wanted to slap the shit out of him. You know, with the disrespect and all that, and yeah, she a Gemini. Cause what you say about they a Gemini? Cause what you say about them Geminis, loose lip? Geminis got them loose lips,
and they sink the ship.
Loose lips that'll sink the ship. But in this case, they sunk their own ship. They see they had sunk their own ship with me at this point. But you know, And after he had reprimanded her, he said, man, look, let him know, hey, Craig ain't the one like that, man. So you gonna fuck around talking about Craig, nobody said shit. Okay. He said what you didn't know, he said he was about to knock the hell out your ass. And he told him, my partner told him, and after that, it was all square. But Murph and this former acquaintance of his, they had some little beef, man. If you want to call it that. But to make a long story short, they ran into each other years ago. They kind of squashed it. But now, he said he replied to their story the wrong way and whatnot. And she got kind of was pissed about talking about some what's so funny. He was like, whoa, what you talking about? And they was like, well, on my story, you put a laughing emoji on there. He said, no, that was actually, he said, hey, that was he apologized for it or whatever. And then he come telling me, man, it ain't changed, man. No shit. And that's why I said, and in my mind, I was like, oh, well, you finally did figure the fuck, and that's when it ended. But I just went on ahead and told him, to be honest, I said, oh, you finally figured that the fuck out after how many years now? Like, damn. I said, you finally figured that out in about how many years now? Yeah. I said, uh-huh. Shit. That's man, you gotta watch them Geminis, man. Hey. Gemini's like the Gemini, you said about the loose lips with the Gemini. Gemini's is like the Hydra. You know about the Greek, you know about the mythical legend of the Hydra, right?
Yeah.
You chop one head off, another gonna grow in the same spot.
Yep. Yeah.
So, but man, people gonna have to we just living in a very fucked up world. And I hope I didn't lose anybody in regards to what I'm saying if everybody's still in the chat room, but it just pisses me off right now, man. People don't have no general interest anymore. None.
That's true. I mean, general, they don't have any interest, but I don't even waste my time with a lot of people like that either. That's my thing.
Yeah, and I don't myself, Sometimes I dismiss them, I was just like, okay.
Yeah, because I can't be around no boring ass people like that. I mean,
because they're not relatable.
Yeah, I can't relate to no boring ass person. Granted, I keep up with enough shit myself.
Yeah.
So people I attract is gonna keep up with. The people I attract is pretty much gonna keep up with a lot of shit in their own right. So I don't have to worry about that department. So, but damn, man, I just can't be around no boring ass people like that. That just
me either. Now, like I said, boring. I mean, a lot of people say that, and I had to. I believe that was Murphy. That was somebody else had the nerve to say, they're talking about some, man, Craig, square ass nigga. Whoa, hold up, bro. Talking about some how he's square. Murph had the G check. Murph had the G check. Somebody talking about some. Well, how he square? He just born. You would say the reason why you think he born is because you don't know the man. You don't get to know him.
Well, here's the thing though. Ain't nothing wrong with being square. Motherfuckers shouldn't be trying to be about that life all the time. That shit overrated. if he just because I'm square don't mean I'm not hip. Come on now. Get the fuck out of here with that. Somebody a square. You should be square. I mean, you shouldn't be in the life all the goddamn time or call yourself about that life. There's times and places for all that shit, man. But ain't nothing wrong with being square. You just need to be hip. That's the difference between being square and not hip at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm up on a lot of shit. I'm like, God damn. I said, just because I don't like none of this trap music and shit, y'all. Some of it I will listen to now. I mean, like Cardi B. I mean, I hear more of that on the radio now. Like the new Chris Brown, they be playing the shit out of it on the radio and stuff like that. Some other stuff. I'm hip about a lot of things. Like some of the, some television shows I will watch. I don't have a favorite, but I will watch something. Shit. That's what I got in there for. That's what I got apps for. Some shows I will watch, like Viceland. Like I recommend you guys watch Dark Side of the Ring on Viceland. I mean, yeah, I stay hip to all that stuff. People don't take no interest in all that. I don't, like I watch some reality shows to be funny. I'll sit and watch some old school comedy shows and whatever. Like I was watching the episodes of the Royal Family with the late Della with the late Red Fox and Della Reese, and with Lorenz Tate in it. Funny ass show. Produced and written by Eddie Murphy. What I mean? Hey, and they were all good. It was the #1 show until Red had a heart attack on the set.
Right.
So, but hey, like people say I'm and folks that still probably think I'm square, man, kiss my ass.
Yeah, that's all
Hey, I have a small circle of friends. And reason why people say I'm square is because some of the interests those squares have, like being about that life, clubbing and all that other little shit and all that, and always got to fall up to a party or whatever. I'm not about that. Never.
Yeah, and this ain't to say you shouldn't go out and party, but there's time and place for everything as well.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, if you square shit, I mean, you should want to square up at what the fuck you trying to do. So, man, I'll tell them kiss my entire ass. So it is what it is when it comes to that, man.
Yep.
You got anything else you want to add to that before we go and get up off this hoe?
No, man, that's about it, man. Because I'm gonna go in here and I have my hot dogs warming up and go and eat them too, and get ready to head back for work tomorrow. Get ready to head back to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go heat me up some spaghetti I made Saturday. So I'm gonna go and get up off this hoe. Once again, everybody in the chat room, shout out to my boy Marcus Houston as well as my boy Boss Neff in the chat room.
Wait a minute, Marcus Houston. The Marcus Houston.
Marcus Johnson. I always get this motherfucker mixed up with goddamn Marcus.
Damn.
I stay getting this motherfucker mixed up, dog. But it is what it is, man. But shout out to my boy Marcus Johnson, my boy Boss Neff in the chat room, and everybody else who's listening. Once again, this your boy live and direct in absolute full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662. And y'all already know how both of us do. Good night, and y'all enjoy y'all Memorial Day weekend.
And the pleasure has been all yours.